concept within the book 1984, as well as the book Animal Farm, which was introduced by Eric Blair, or otherwise known as George Orwell. Orwellianism is often seen or defined as authoritarian, and although Animal Farm and 1984 are two different stories, they both convey a strong message to show the potential works in a modern society. In the novel 1984, every move and word is watched, observed, and swayed by the government of Oceania as they have various ways to repress the general public. Propaganda, doublespeak, and their control of language are all ways the public have been repressed and is why they are objective to stay there. Many people today question our own society, and we all need to ask ourselves, are we presently living in an Orwellianism society today? Social media. It's a blessing and a curse. In today's society, social media affects different people in numerous amounts of ways. Social media can benefit many people in different ways, as it can help flourish businesses, can be more efficient and effective for some people overall. It can help people attain a goal, and it can potentially help disarm social stigmas such as anxiety or depression. Although it can work wonders, social media can also be very detrimental to someone's mental or even physical health. People may see what they should look like, what they should be doing, and how they should be acting to fall into the social norm of the world today, which all in all can repress and make some to feel different or the odd one out. As I mentioned before, social media can have a lot of pros and cons, as it is a social reliance in today's society. It works great for some, and many people have mixed emotions for it. One conversation that has swayed many people away from technology as a whole is the fact that social media sites may have too much access to your personal information, as that is a violation of privacy under the Fourth Amendment. Companies also could be potentially listening to your everyday conversations and document them to persuade you to buy certain products, and can see and observe your search history. Does social media today relate to the Oceania government in the novel 1984? Do we have the same amount of freedom as them, just more under the radar and less punishable?
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I believe that it is a violation of privacy. I don't believe that they should have access to that private information because under the Fourth Amendment there is a right to privacy. Um, I don't really think it's had that big of an effect on my life. If I had to pick one, I would say detrimental, just because there's sort of a social reliance on social media, where if you don't have social media, then um, you're sort of an outcast, to say the least. I absolutely do. Because have you ever like talked about something and then all of a sudden when you type in a Google search like the first word, then the whole thing pops up? So I definitely think that that's something that goes on for sure. Yeah, so they definitely use it. They either sell that information to other companies, mainly advertising companies, and then from there they're able to target ads um, that that are catered to you, so that their advertising costs go down for those companies, and they're able to just specifically target people. Absolutely. No, I don't spend more than 6 hours, but I definitely spend a few hours. I would probably lean towards 4 to 4. Yeah, I'd probably say like around 4. I don't know. It gives you like a weekly thing. I think mine's at like 4, 4.5. So I spend like a lot of time on my phone every day, but not quite 6. Yeah, I think yeah, your search history is almost public information because I'm pretty sure those rates belong to Google or whatever search engine that you use. So, yeah, they definitely use search history and they use cookies and things like that they're able to track. And that's all for advertising too. Selling that personal information is so valuable. No, absolutely not. When it's on the web, it's on the web forever. No, I don't think so. I think that's definitely up to the discretion of their parents. If their parents are going to allow them to use it when they're younger, then they're allowed to use it when they're younger. I don't think that. I think that would be an unnecessary regulation if on the internet. Um, yeah, to an extent, I definitely think that yeah, those companies should really be watching out for accounts that don't exist or accounts that are malicious. But at the end of the day, the internet is sort of like, I mean, when you go onto those websites, like you can find whatever you want. If you want to find bad things, you can definitely find bad things. So I think that the responsibility goes both ways. It also goes to the people, to the children who are using social media. But yeah, to an extent, the social platform should definitely have a better system of you know getting netting through those malicious accounts.
It's a violation of privacy. I don't believe that they should have access to my personal information because they can end up selling it or benefiting from it. Neither one. I don't usually go on social media too much. I don't need to. I don't really believe in following people or stating what I think online. I believe that they are. Yes, I do believe that they hear it, and I think that they sell it to other companies to benefit or profit from that. It's all the time. It scares me. Spend more than 6 hours a day on my phone. I generally spend 2 to 3. I believe that it can. I think that they're kept for a long period of time or they're never erased. They're always out there. I do believe there should be an age limit depending on what the social media is. Do they can put things in place to help filter things so that people or children don't have access.
Is a violation of privacy. They should not be looking into my personal property. Social media has not been detrimental to my life. They listen all the time as they are used in police investigations to hear, I guess, motives for crimes. They do use the information they hear because that's the point of having one, but I don't know what they do with it. Not good stuff. Yes, they have been yeah, probably. Well, yeah, probably 6 hours a day. Probably seem right. not completely erased. I'm sure some person can dig it up and find it again. No, I don't think there should be an age limit for internet, but some social media platforms should have an age limit. Well, yeah, they should be doing more to keep them safe from predators and harassment online by using like word filters that should not allow people to say certain words on the internet.
Social media and technology overall are a huge issue in today's society, as a simple screen can eventually cause months or years of potential pain and sorrow. Mental health is a problem that can easily stem from social media, as viewers observe icons and compare themselves to them, and it can occur from cyberbullying. Another reason why social media is a problem is due to the fact that kids consume most of their time on social media, that their grades are lower, some are overweight, and it can cause them to be reliant on social media. Although social media can benefit us in many ways, I believe all in all that it just hurts us more overall. The average teenager spends 9 hours a day on technology. 9 hours. Teenagers have many different tasks to do as they are entering an adult atmosphere. 9 hours a day can affect multiple things and can be very damaging to the youth. As they look and stare at their screens for the majority of the day, how do you expect them to finish their homework and assignments? How do you expect them to work out or get their recommended hour of physical activity a day? And how do you expect them to stop their bad habit and not be completely reliable on social media and the internet? All of these things can be damaged by social media. I'm aware that social media and the internet can potentially help you with homework and other school tasks, but it can also be very, very distracting, which can cause the teenager to not even do their assignment at all. Mental health can stem from many different things, as psychologists haven't really found a complete reason as to why we get depressed and think so negative about certain things. Although I'm not a certified psychologist or a professional in any way, I've witnessed many problems come from social media alone. A good example is body dysmorphia and eating disorders. I've witnessed many of my peers starve themselves, fight hunger, and overall have a terrible thought about how they look. I often ask why, and try to figure out the motive behind this to try and help them with their mental and physical health. As time went on, I realized that eating disorders were more common than I initially thought. I one day asked one of my close friends, "Do you remember how this all started?" They explained to me that they would always see other fit and skinny women on Instagram modeling and posing to take pictures on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. She thought of them as icons, compared herself to them, and tried to replicate their lifestyle and what they looked like. She quickly began to view differently and just filled her head with negative thoughts about how her body looked, all because of a couple of videos and pictures. In my opinion, I believe social media can be toxic and unrealistic, as it affects all different people, as we all think differently. Social media can be very damaging and detrimental to everyone as a whole. To me, it is a very large issue in today's society that should be addressed in a more serious and demanding fashion. Mental health and other factors such as grades dropping, obesity, and reliance on these devices can hurt our society to an extent that we may not ever be able to fix.